Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity in the Seven Hills, whether you are here in person or out there online. We ask you to stand now and let's sing some songs together. Let's turn cell phones off, iPhones off, and I-ams on. Right, let's go. Every day you shine brighter, you make this world a better place. I feel the love from your heart, I see the joy on your face. Let's sing that one again. Every day you shine brighter, you make this world a better place. I feel the love from your heart, I see the joy on your face. Shine your light on everyone, shine your light on me. Shine your light as bright as the sun, 'cause this is where you're supposed to be. Oh, every day you shine brighter, you make this world a better place. I feel the love from your heart, I see the joy on your face. Here we are, we're together, we're here in this wonderful place. Leave the cares of the week, together we celebrate. That's worth repeating as well. Here we are, we're together, we're here in this wonderful place. Leave the cares of the week, together we celebrate. Shine your light on everyone, shine your light on me. Shine your light as bright as the sun, 'cause this is where you're supposed to be. Oh, every day, here we are, we're together, we're here in this wonderful place. Leave the cares of the week, together we celebrate. Every day you shine brighter, you make this world a better place. I feel the love from your heart, I see the joy on your face. Every day you shine brighter, you make this world a better place. I feel the love from your heart, I see the joy on your face. Shine your light on everyone, shine your light on me. Shine your light as bright as the sun, 'cause this is where you're supposed to be. Oh, every day you shine brighter, you make this world a better place. I feel the love from your heart, I see the joy on your face. I feel the love from your heart, I see the joy on your face. Woo. Let's continue with some Karen Drucker. Stand. Oh, you guys are already standing. Let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let freedom ring from every bell around this land. Let every voice be lifted, every woman, every man. Let us turn our hearts to joy, walk together hand in hand, raise each other up. It's time to take a stand. Let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let freedom ring from every bell around this land. Let every voice be lifted, every woman, every man. Let us turn our hearts to joy, walk together hand in hand, raise each other up. It's time to take a stand. Let's raise each other up. It's time to take a stand. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing the joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Good morning, everybody.
And good morning, Unity in the Seven Hills, and good morning to our friends online. Let's start out by blessing and praying over the Advent candles. If you remember, the first Advent Sunday was for hope and faith. The second one last week was for joy. This one today is for love. And let me tell a true story. Happened to a woman by the name of Kimberly Elkins, who lives in New York. And 2 days before Christmas, she is flying home to her family in Virginia. Could be she's flying to the Lynchburg airport, doesn't say where, but she's flying from LaGuardia to someplace in Virginia. She's in Manhattan getting a cab. Oh my God, she finally gets a cab. The traffic, is she going to even make the plane on time? Finally, she gets there. And the TSA line is, a mile long. She got to take off your shoes. Oh God. She takes off her shoes, puts the shoes back on, runs and runs and runs, and finds the plane's been canceled. Oh my God. They finally book her on another plane, She finally gets, long lines, and it's a puddle jumper. It's, smaller than what she thought she was going to sit in. And she gets in. She had booked an aisle seat, a comfy aisle seat. She's in a middle seat now with, elbows on either side. I'm just going to go to sleep. So she starts to go to sleep, And the woman next to the window, she hears this rattling and, she looks. The woman's trying to open this package of trail mix. Her elbow is getting into she can't open. Finally, Kimberly said, give it to me. I'll give it. She can't do it. The guy next to, give it to me. Just pass it. I'll do it. Finally, the teenager, on the others, oh God, give it to me. And he can't open the trail mix. Mr. Muscles is sitting next to him. I'll do it. He can't open it. It's going around. And everybody else in the plane was in a grumpy mood. But this is, everybody's concentrating on this thing. Yay, next contestant. Let's see whether they can open it. They can't open it. It keeps going around. The whole plane is now functioning on this trail mix. Finally, the teenager says, I got an idea. Give it to me. He takes one side of it. Mr. Muscles takes the other side of it. Pop goes the bag of trail mix. It opens. The whole plane starts cheering, with joy. They pass it back to the lady, and the lady says, no, let's pass it around. Everybody take it. So everybody was taking trail mix and having a great time. Finally, the bag of trail, the one lady, there was just one peanut left. She turns it open and shows there's an empty bag. Somebody else in the plane yells, God bless us, everyone. Merry Christmas, everybody. And Kimberly thought, I hope my family's awake because I want to share this Christmas love with them. Sometimes when we're in the, LaGuardia and TSA lines, something that might be a trail mix bag or whatever, brings us back into that Christmas spirit of love. Into that Christmas spirit of love. And if we can remember that and center on that, one presence, one power, God the good, omnipotent, and know that that is the reality. And when we can, maybe a box of trail mix or something else, can remind us for the reason for this season, then the love starts coming. The love starts coming and we start enjoying. Dear Spirit, thank you for this holiday season. Help us to remember the reason for this season. Help us to realize that we can know this Christmas joy even if we're in a backup on Route 29 or on I-81. All it takes is a sense of centering and a deep breath and remembering that we truly are one with the one. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. Let's say our affirmation together. Unity in the Seven Hills is a vibrant, inclusive community that inspires individual spiritual growth through education, prayer, heart connection, and sacred service. And our vision statement, let's say it together. Centered in spirit, we see a world transformed by divine love, where innovative solutions are celebrated and all needs are met. All needs are met. And the unity principle that we're on today is that second principle. Remember the first principle. There's one presence, one power, God the good omnipotent. That's the reality in which we are in. The second principle is so wonderful that this is not just a relationship with something which is beyond, way beyond us. It's inside of us. It's inside of us. I love the Hindu story about, the gods are getting together and there's divinity, the divine spark. Where should we hide it? Well, let's hide it on the top mountain. And they say, nah, human beings will climb up and get it, and then they'll, whatever. They said, well, let's put it in the bottom of the ocean. Nah, they'll invent a submarine and go down there. Well, where are we going to hide it? And two gods get this idea. Let's hide it inside their hearts, because that's the last place in the world they'll ever think to look for it. To know that that divine spark is inside of all of us. And that's who we really are. Not the mistake we made in 1985 or sense of loss or failure or sense of scarcity or lack or, my God, this is, if something good happens in our lives, this is going to be taken away from us. But it is that divine spark within inside of us. And when we can center on that and know that we truly are one with the one. Yeah, we might not always radiate at the level of a Christ or a Jesus or a Buddha. But I love Krishna. There's another Hindu teacher, Krishna Das, and he says, inevitably, I'm getting there, I'm getting closer, a little closer as time progresses. Eventually, I will radiate with that one with the one and realize that divine spark within inside of me, and it will shine even in difficult situations. I love this way to say Unity's second principle. Let's say it all together. Human beings are divine at their core, and therefore inherently good. Inherently good. And Bonnie is now going to read the daily word.
The daily word for today is love. I answer the call to love, embracing the world. Love is both a noun and a verb. More than just a feeling, it is one of the highest intentions I can hold, and one of the most sacred actions I can take. Love is the name and nature of God, the pulsation of oneness from the center of my heart to the farthest reaches of earthly existence. On this third Sunday of Advent, love is also a call to action, an invitation to perceive the world through the Christ presence and live as the love I am. I open my heart and let my love flow forth as kindness, gentleness, and compassion. I stay grounded in the presence of God through my prayers, and I radiate love through my kind words and actions. I trust my loving impulses will reach far and wide. The light and love, light and joy I send forth grow and expand to encompass all things. And from 1 John 3:18, little children, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and action.
Now let us bless our youth together. Let's stand and sing. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All the time. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So, I don't know about you guys. You can take a seat. I don't know about you guys, but there's always one song that does it for me, and that means Christmas. I actually have two. Actually, being a musician, I'm allowed that at least. The one, well, there's two songs for me. So the first one is Mariah Carey's song, and that like that, for the uplifting thing. But this is the one that I have to sing at least once a year. So I'm gonna sing this song for you. This is Christmas for me. chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. That should cover us. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. So I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. That's Christmas for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much. I feel a real Christmas gift, and I'm so glad my older daughter, Robin, is here. I don't mean to embarrass you, but gosh, I remember when she was this little and we were living in Amherst, and we'd come here, and then I'd lead her down the, down the stairs going down, and she always wanted to show me how many stairs she could hop down, and I thought, oh God, she's going to break her neck or something like that. I asked her permission to be able to tell this story. She said, yeah, Dad, tell the story, but make sure, I was 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old when this happened. So anyway, it's, before Christmas, and this is, many years ago, and we decided to get Debbie, Mommy, my wife, a cell phone, one of these newfangled flip cell phones for Christmas. So I remember the store we went to. We drove in from Amherst. We went to the store in Lynchburg, and we got her one of these newfangled flip phones. Oh my goodness, you'll never, I mean, this phone was so incredible. It had an app built into it. It had a calculator. Can you imagine? What will they think of next? Everything's up to date in Kansas City. They've gone about as far as they can go. Well, anyway, we can't, and it was a long, now it seems all you need is a beating heart. Here's a phone, Back in those days, my God, you practically had to give a blood sample and, everything else. So finally we get back, and they said, would you like it wrapped? I said, yes. I would never qualify as a wrapper at, for presents at Macy's or anything else like that. Debbie would sometimes look and say, I know this is from Dad. He wrapped it. So, so anyway, we walk into the house and little Robin walks in and says, guess what, Mom? We bought your Christmas present today. It's a cell phone. And it's a newfangled one, flippy time, and it has an app in it, a calculator. I wanted to get a pink one for you, but they didn't have a pink one. I'm going, oh my God. Another song which has been going through my head this week has been John Lennon's Christmas song, remember? And so this is Christmas, and see what you've done, another year over, and a new year just begun. Well, anyway, we started a series last week on gifts you can give yourself. Christmas gifts you can give yourself. And I know, the first thought, some of you might say, oh my God, I already have a to-do list out the wazoo. I don't need anything else. I promise you, you won't have to go on any shopping lines. You won't have to any confusing things on the internet or anything, and it won't cost you a plug nickel. And last week, the gift I suggested was affirmative prayer. What was neat, a lot of you folks I've heard from a lot of you folks saying, wow, really enjoyed last week's message, and great message and all that. I have a good friend, Reverend Christine Boylan. We were in seminary together. She's now the minister at Hartford. And Christine says, it's always nice to hear that, of course, but what's even cooler is when somebody says, I really enjoyed it, and here's how I'm using it. Here's how I'm using that. And what was really neat is I've heard from so many of you, not only was, I got a lot out of the here's how I'm using affirmative prayer, and I'm actually starting to see some positive results. So this week, the gift which I'm going to suggest you give yourself is Emmett Fox's Golden Key. Emmett Fox's Golden Key. And as a matter of fact, if you come, and I hope you'll come through, look at the office, it's that one, right, up the stairs and over there. Come on in. The door's not locked or anything else like that. And I want to thank Bonnie, Lisa, and Bob. They did so much to make it really a wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. But on the bookshelf, one of the bookshelves, you'll see this is not a golden key. It's a brass key, but it's there to remind me of the power of Emmett Fox's Golden Key. Now, I know probably many of you are very familiar with Emmett Fox, and you remember him. You've read some of his wonderful books, but some of you may not. But let's just remind ourselves a little bit about Emmett Fox. Emmett Fox was one of the leading New Thought teachers of the 20th century. Emmett Fox was born in the 1880s in Great Britain. His father was a minister and also a physician. Emmett grew up. His mother had been active and was exploring New Thought. Emmett went on to become an electrical engineer, graduated with that and was quite good at that, but he was also interested in New Thought, and he found that he had a gift for healing. He really had a gift for healing. He wound up being associated with a man by the name of Judge Thomas Troward. Judge Thomas Troward was a leading thinker, early thinker in the New Thought movement in Great Britain. So, Emmett Fox was a younger guy then. He sort of became like Judge Troward's right-hand person. In 1931, Emmett Fox decided to leave Great Britain and come to the United States. So he came to the United States, and his plan was to become a unity minister. So he went out to Kansas City and went to Unity headquarters, met with a committee, and he said, here's my letter from Judge Thomas Troward. Oh, yes, we know Thomas Troward very well, highly respected. He said, well, and what Emmett thought was, I'm probably going to have to take a course in the history of the Unity movement. They'll probably want me to take another course, maybe in the American Transcendental movement, so I learn more about Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau and things like that. Maybe I'll have to do a poetry class on Walt Whitman or something like that. But that's fine. Now, this was not unity's finest moment. The committee, and Charles Fillmore was not on this committee. Maybe if he was, it would have been different. But anyway, the committee looked at Emmett Fox and said, well, that's great, but if you want to become a unity minister, you're going to have to go back to go, you're going to have to pass go and not collect $200. You're going to have to take Metaphysics 1, Metaphysics 2, Metaphysics 3, Metaphysics, and probably Emmett could have taught the teachers, something. Emmett said, no, thank you, bye-bye, and left. He went to divine science, which is another branch of the New Thought movement. He gave them credentials, spoke to them. They said, wow, we'd love, yeah, come on. We'd like you to take something on the history of divine science, but that's, and maybe read about what Nona, their founder, has written and all that. And he said, sure, be glad to do that. And you're you're ordained under divine science. By the way, we also have an opening. There's a pulpit in New York City. Would you, oh yeah. So Emmett Fox wound up the minister of leading divine science church in New York City. And this was like the 1930s. And his church is growing. I mean, he's pulling people in left, right, center. It gets to a point where so many people want to hear Emmett Fox that they rent Carnegie Hall. You want to hear Emmett Fox, you go to Carnegie Hall to hear Emmett Fox. I mean, that was the kind of crowd he was pulling in. And also very interesting, there was a connection with AA and early 12-step fellowships. A lot of 12-steppers, alcoholics, and they went to Carnegie Hall to hear Emmett Fox, and so Emmett Fox has always got quite connected with 12-step movement very, very early on. And he wrote so many wonderful books, the Sermon on the Mount, a book on the Ten Commandments, on a whole range of things. And as a matter of fact, particularly on the Sermon on the Mount, I hope to do a class on that, down the road here. But anyway, Emmett Fox made his transition in 1951. So what is Emmett Fox's golden key? And believe me, this golden key makes excellent stocking stuffers. And I hope you stuff a lot of them in your stocking. Here it is. Here's the golden key. You're facing the crisis du jour. You're facing that bump in the road, that knock. Oh my God, the love relationship, which I thought was going to be it, is headed south. My 401k, which I thought was my nest egg, I found out Bernie Madoff invested it, or it was FTX. It was in cryptocurrency, and it's gone. Or my God, you get that health diagnosis which you were not expecting, or somebody dies on you, or whatever. It could be a bad hair day, whatever it is. Whatever the crisis du jour is, the golden key is this. Take the crisis du jour, put it here. Put it over here. And don't even think about it right now. Don't even touch it. Don't even think about it. Don't do anything with it. And go over here. And start reminding yourself of spiritual principles, of what you know to be spiritually true. Remind yourself that you are dealing with a God who loves you, who's not about to zap you because you stepped on a crack, that you are one with the one, that you were born blessed and remain blessed, one presence, one power, that you remind yourself that that divine spark is inside of you. And you center on that. And you notice that as you are centering on that, you've forgotten to obsess about over there. You start doing that. And then, only after that connection is strong, then you go back and deal with whatever the crisis du jour was. And what you will find is the crisis du jour may not have changed, but you've changed. Your consciousness has changed. And you can deal with that so much better. And a lot of times, you know what? Something happens in terms of that crisis du jour. Not always, but sometimes it changes. It changes. But whether it changes or not, you've changed, and there's a new stride in your step, and you can deal with it. So let's, again, remind ourselves of the key of this golden, of the golden key. And you know what's interesting? Emmett Fox and Charles Fillmore became best of friends. Charles said, "I'm so sorry what happened." Emmett says, "It worked out in divine order and we're fine." And as a matter of fact, he wrote a booklet on the golden key. And Unity has just republished, or a while ago, just republished Emmett Fox's golden key with stories in it, modern stories. One is by Ken Nagel, who's the minister at Unity in San Francisco. He was one of the early ones who got AIDS before a lot of the other drugs came along. He got it. He used Emmett Fox's golden key, and he's alive and thriving, has a little daughter by the name of Roma, who's the same age as Therese. And when we go to Unity conventions, a lot of times in the hallway you'll hear Therese going, "Roma, Roma," and Roma's going, "Therese, Therese." And he used Emmett Fox's golden key and is thriving. Again, Emmett Fox's golden key. Whatever the crisis du jour is, put it over here. Don't even think about it. Don't even obsess about it. Don't even try to touch it or whatever. Go over here. Start centering on what and reminding yourself on what you know to be spiritually true. Center on that. All that good stuff. Take a deep breath. Breathe it in. And only after that connection has been so centered in you do you go back to this pile of whatever and start to really deal with it. And you find that you've changed, or maybe the pile's changed. Let me tell you a true story. I mean, because I have tons of stories about this golden key and the power of it. But let me tell you one. It happened when I was at Unity of Fairfax. Remember, up in Northern Virginia, and there was a young woman there by the name of Jane. Somebody, when I heard this, said, "Did you ever date Jane?" No, I was married to Debbie, for God's sakes. This was purely, wonderful, beautiful spiritual relationship. And so Jane, she was so concerned about her biological clock ticking and, wanted a child, wanted a husband. She's pretty, she's bright, wonderful personality. For some reason, so often she wound up with Mr. Wrong. And, it just fizzled, and the clock is moving, and oh my God, and she's trying to find Mr. Right and everything else like that. Finally, and she's studying Unity principles. One time she came to me, she said, "Rick, he dumped me. I thought he was Mr. Right, and he dumped me. I wanted to scream in his face, 'You can't dump me. I'm a Unity True student.'" But then she realized, forget that one. So I asked her, I said, "Do you know about Emmett Fox's golden key?" She said, "No." And I told her, I gave her a booklet written by Emmett Fox, and explained to her the principles. She went home, she read it, studied, we met again, and she said to me, this striving, this obsession about Mr. Right and doing all that. "Rick, I've had a real change of heart." And this was the first time I ever heard this slogan. She said to me, "I really have discovered that a woman without a man is like a fish without a bicycle." Yeah. Like a fish without a bicycle. Forget that garbage. Forget that garbage. I'm going to do something that I want to do. I said to her, "What's that?" She said, "Well, when I was a little girl, my father and I, we loved astronomy. We'd go stargazing and look in the telescope and all. I've heard that there's a group called the Reston Stargazers out in Western Virginia. And I'm going to go stargazing this Saturday night. It's going to be fun." And I said, "Well, make sure you dress warm and take some coffee, hot coffee or whatever." She said, yeah, I'll do that." So then time passes. I didn't hear from her. Nothing from Jane. So finally, I call her, and she said, "Oh, Rick, I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to call you." I said, "Well, how you doing?" She said, "Well, I went to Reston Stargazers, and you'll never believe it. I met Chuck." And we've been seeing each other. And I don't want to project or anything else like that, but could be. Fast run the tape forward. They're now married. They live in Colorado. They have 3 kids. I think such a powerful story about the power of Emmett Fox's Golden Key. Let me tell another quick story. This one is a story that happened to Tasha Silver. And as I spoke about Tasha Silver last week, you'll hear more about Tasha Silver. She's a wonderful spiritual teacher. She's written several wonderful books, including this one, Change Me Prayers. Change Me Prayers. And again, I know it's going to be a good day when I start my prayer and meditation and say, God, forget about I'm the one I need an attitude adjustment. I need an attitude adjustment. So anyway, Tasha tells this story, and I think really shows, again, Emmett Fox's Golden Key. So she's taken yoga. She walks out of yoga, and she's in San Francisco, of all places. And oh my God, something goes wrong with her foot. She feels incredible. She pulled something or whatever she's feeling. Excruciating pain, excruciating pain. Her car is God knows how many blocks away, and oh my God, what am she going to? She then remembered, more or less, essentially she followed Emmett Fox's Golden Key. She put it over here. She went over there. She writes, the good thing about focusing on divine order is that prayers start to kick in on their own volition. And she said, show me what you wish me to do. The perfect action I know is already there. Guide me, please. We are one with the one. Thank you so much. And what came to her was, call your acupuncturist. She said, call my acupuncturist. When I call him, it always goes into voicemail. He never answers. And then he calls back, and the appointment has to be like 3 or 4 weeks down the road. That's call your acupuncturist. She takes out her cell phone, calls her acupuncturist, and guess what? He answers on the first ring. Oh yeah, I just had a cancellation. Be glad to see you. Come on over. So Tasha writes, it took 20 minutes to hop back to the car. I must have looked like a wacky, intensely praying bunny rabbit left over from Easter. And then she drives over. Then lo and behold, she writes, a parking space opened up right in front of the office, which had never happened before. She went in, the acupuncturist did what he did, the excruciating pain left. She still had to do healing work. It took a while for it to heal. But you know what? Myrtle Fillmore, back in the 1880s, her spiritual healing from the tuberculosis was instantaneous, but it took 2 years of hard work and all that until the physical manifestation showed up in Myrtle, but it did. And then Tasha says, who knows what would have happened without my alignment with the divine? And then she writes, this stuff is so practical. This stuff is so practical. And she wrote a wonderful prayer. Change me, divine beloved, into one who remembers to call on you in emergencies, knowing that nothing is too big or small. Help me relax as you guide the way even during injury or illness. I'm always safe. I'm always safe in your care. In your care. Isn't that wonderful? Emmett Fox's Golden Key really, honestly, truly does work. And so I think the Golden Key is an incredible gift you should give yourself this Christmas. It can give your spiritual life a quantum leap. and it does make an excellent stocking stuffer, and I suggest you stock it in put it and stuff it in your stocking. And I think this all boils down to a few things. First, remember, don't even deal with the crisis du jour. First, don't even deal with it. Second, turn to that relationship that you have with Spirit, to what you know to be spiritually true. Breathe that in, reestablish that link. And then third, only then face the challenge in your life. And if you do this, I promise you that your challenges will appear like an opportunity for more spiritual growth. Emmett Fox's golden key really works, and it works in all situations. As I said, it makes a great stocking stuffer, and I hope you avail yourself of it. So next week we will talk about another wonderful gift that I hope you will give yourself this Christmas. And so, to quote something from television when many of us were kids, tune in again. Same bat time, same bat channel next week for another exciting and thrill-packed episode of Christmas Gifts You Can Give Yourself. Thank you, and God bless.
So I have to mention one thing, because it was about 2 weeks after I totally gave up thinking about women or the possibility of any kind of relationship that we met. So it does work. I was just going to focus on myself. All right. Let's go into meditation. As we do, we are going to sing Living in the Light of God. And let's hear some harmonies and some nice singing.
Let's take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Let's take another deep breath in. And slowly let it out. Let's close our eyes if we feel comfortable. And for this meditation, which is going to center on this third candle of love, I'd like to tell you a little true story. And it happened to Julie Marks in Des Moines, Iowa. In Des Moines, Iowa, a lot of communities, there's one street, I know this is true in Roanoke, it's in Grandin Village, where everybody, it seems, in the neighborhood just on this street puts up incredible Christmas lights. Robin, Therese, and I drove through Grandin last night listening to Christmas music and looking at those lights. Well, in Des Moines, it's on Ashby Avenue. And Julie and her husband, Dale, were able to buy a home on Ashby, and they really got into the Christmas spirit of lighting up the place. And not only did they light up the place, as people walked by, they had where you could donate money for the food bank or donate canned goods. And the year before, they raised $7,000. But now, her husband Dale had a very serious illness, and the doctor said, you're going to be making he's probably going to be making his transitions very, very soon. And he was very frail. So Julie was walking the dog, and a neighbor asked her, how are you doing? When are you going to put your lights up? And she said, I'm probably not going to put my lights up this year because, my husband Dale and all that. A few days later, Julie got a call from a phone call, man she never heard of before. The caller said, my name is Bob Coffey. I'm a local contractor, and I hear you could use some help. My crew can put up your lights free of charge, free of charge. And so they did that. And then somehow the radio stations and the TV got a wind of their Bob doing all this. A local news station picked up the story of Bob's generosity, and it seemed to inspire everyone who heard it. Tons of people came by. Tons of people came by. And it was just incredible. Dale, the husband, frail, would watch through the window as people came by and walked through the streets, cars driving through. Julie wrote, God had given me a sense of purpose and community that would sustain me. I didn't know yet that the food drive was on its way to topping $65,000, and over 1,500 pounds of non-perishables would be collected. But I've already looked forward to what we might accomplish next year. And then, on December 30th, Dale made his transition, and she asked one of the neighbors, please, let's just turn out the lights here. And Julie said, I went to the door and asked a volunteer to turn off the lights. The house went dark, a final tribute to my beautiful husband, while the lights around us in our community shone Christmas love. And in this dark situation, writes Julie, I felt this Christmas love. I felt this Christmas love and knew that there would be purpose and meaning in my future. That is the Christmas love which we are talking about. It can happen all around the year. Dear Spirit, thank you for this love. Help us to be a beacon of this love. And when centered in this love, it is so easy for us to go into the silence. Wayshower said, give and it shall be given, pressed down, running over, and shaken together. These principles are so practical and so true. Thank you, dear Spirit. Thank you for this and so much more. And amen and amen.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the love of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the light of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. Let's stand. Light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well.
Thank you, Daniel. Why don't we be seated a second? That great Unity teacher, Jim Rosemergy, he even wrote a book by this title, which was Even Mystics Have to Pay Bills. And so we come now to the time of tithes, love offerings, generosity. And we thank you so much for your support, which, kept the flame alive at Unity in the Seven Hills even during the pandemic. Even during the pandemic. And so we thank you. The greeters will come forward, will come up and come here. And you know what? I've only made one small little change, which I requested. I asked that the affirmations which were in the back be brought forward. So come, and I know many of you give online, you give monthly or whatever. It doesn't matter. Come on up forward. Your blessings, your positive vibrations are really important. Take a love offering. The prayer box is there. There will be prayer, prayers, individual prayer after the service. And it really is important, and we are so grateful for all that in time, treasure, and talent that has supported this ministry. Let's affirm our abundance together. Unity in the Seven Hills is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And we accomplish mighty works together. And with that abundance, it's time to share our blessings. This month, we are tithing to CASA in addition to tithing to our greater Unity family. Let me say, on many Sundays, and we're not alone, Unity of Roanoke Valley was the same way. We're now, in a lot of Sundays, serving as many eyeballs as we served before the pandemic. A lot of you are online. Online, the contributions from online people are, thank you, and are so important. There are so many ways to give through Zelle, check, or cash. The snail mail may be a little slower than it was in the past, but it still works. PayPal, click the link and give. I would also ask for folks online, if there's a way to share this with somebody who you know, pass it on, click the like, click the little thing the bell which will responds. And so now, something wonderful.
Let's sing something wonderful together. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, oh, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out. Yes, we can. Something wonderful. I'm gonna have to do a longer version of that one. Let's do it again. We'll do it 3 times next week, Ari. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine. Yes, we can. Something wonderful. So now please join us in the blessing of the gifts. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. United in mind, body, and spirit, I dedicate these gifts as they grow to bless our community, our neighborhood, and our world. Closing statement. Calendar of events. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. It's nice to see a full church here. We're gonna have to make this church bigger so we can fill it with with this bigger circle here. Okay. A calendar of events is available at unityinthesevenhills.org. Let's say that together. unityinthesevenhills.org, and there are copies in the back. Here are some important and upcoming event items. A gift of an amaryllis or paperweight purchased from the giving link on our website unityinthesevenhills.org will be not only a gift for a loved one, but a gift for your Unity community. Deadline for orders is this Thursday, so be sure to order now. Join us for our Christmas Eve service on the 24th at 5 p.m. That's the 24th at 5 p.m. Also, we will be here on Christmas morning. Get up early with the kids, open those gifts, and come share some festive Christmas community. Or do it in the other order. Early here, kids and presents afterwards. That's for me. This coming, and we've got, for the Christmas Eve, we have got so much Christmas music for you guys to sing along with. It's going to be great. This coming Saturday, that's December the 17th, from 4 till 6, Pamela Smith will be presenting A Visit from the Christmas Angels. There you are. There's a poster in the back. So, A Visit from the Christmas Angels. Love offerings will be accepted and all are invited. And now an announcement from the Uniteam. Sally. Sally, would you like to come up here? So that the people online can hear everything exciting that you have to say.
Well, the Uniteam has identified a family within our church who could use some help with Christmas for their children. And so we're asking that if it's on your heart to give, to please, if you have a check, mark down in the bottom corner on the left that it's for the Christmas family. Otherwise, it will go into the general fund, and we want money in the general fund, but this is specifically for this family. It includes money for Christmas gifts for the child, and also food for the family, which is a rather large family. Let them buy their food. If you're giving cash, there are envelopes in the back of the chairs like this, but you have to again write for the Christmas family, or it'll go into the general fund. And next Sunday is the deadline that we need to take up all the money and give them time to shop and get their groceries and things for Christmas. So this Sunday, we're collecting. People online, you can send it to Unity in the Seven Hills. Just please mark for the Christmas family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sally. Now, your prayer chaplain today is Ari. Thank you to the tech team for doing what you guys do. Thank you. And we are about to close with a peace song, followed by our candle lighting to share our joys and prayers as a community, and then gather around downstairs for our coffee. Who would pass up such secret hot bean juice? But before we do, if you're watching at home, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell icon to know when we are going live again. So let's close with this peace song. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Thank you.